Hey there, everyone. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Jim, and we are
A Teague of Your Own. Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated. Woo!
Yay! It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It's definitely getting better.
It's getting better.
Yes, things are starting to finally warm up a little bit.
By the end of the week, we're up into the 50s.
Yes.
I mean,
after nearly 2 weeks of some wild,
you had the windstorm,
amazing, crazy weather,
and
the cold,
we had the cold and then
the
snow. Yeah.
Yes.
And so
it's been a challenge.
Yeah. And things are finally starting to change for the better when it comes to that.
It'll look like spring by the end of the week.
It is, and the next round of precipitation is all going to be rain.
Rain,
yeah.
Yay! Start of snow.
Oh boy. So fun. And of course, in the middle of all of this, our daughter is moving.
Yes.
And since she does not know how to drive because she never wanted to learn how to drive,
along with a lot of other people in her generation,
she relies on mom and dad to help with some of the logistics. Okay. So Katie's going to be moving out to the Philadelphia area. She's moving in with my mom. And Katie's 25.
Yes.
Right? She's 25.
Yep, she's 25.
Yeah. She's 25. Never learned how to drive.
Has no interest.
No. I think it's very interesting. Like I said, her generation choosing not to drive. And it's not just her. I mean, there's a lot of, and I mean, you've got Uber, you got Lyft. I'm just like, okay, if you don't want, the expense of having a car, that's one thing. But to never get your driver's license, I don't understand.
It's different than us because, when we were growing up, I know, we couldn't wait to get our driver's license. Now, I had to wait a little while because at the time we were living in Europe. I think at that point we were in Greece. Then for my senior year of high school, we moved to Germany, West Germany at the time. And I was, 16 when we moved to Germany, but you couldn't get your license then because over there you got an international driver's license. And so I believe that was correct. I had to wait till I was 17 to get a permit to learn how to drive.
And then 18.
And then 18 to get the license. Yeah. And I went and took the test. And it was not an easy test.
No, it wasn't.
I passed it the first time.
Yeah, I remember taking that.
I said at that point I had an international driver's license, which is kind of cool. But I had to wait till I was 18. But it wasn't a big deal because over there public transportation is really good. In Europe, it's not like the United States. The United States is huge. Yeah. In Europe, everything's relatively speaking close together. And so anytime we wanted to go anywhere, you just go down to the corner on our street, catch the bus there, take you down to the train station and go anywhere you want. Yeah. And so it wasn't critical to get your driver's license, but I still wanted it because it gives you freedom. It's amazing. The generations that are coming up now, they just seem to have very little interest in that.
Yeah.
And I do get, with Lyft and Uber, that does make life a little easier, provided that you live someplace where you can get a Lyft or Uber. Out here where we live, it can be difficult.
It can. Not as many options when it comes to that.
DoorDash you can get all day long. Lyft or Uber, not so much.
You're correct.
They'll bring you food, but they don't like taking you anywhere.
So 3 years ago, Katie moved out into her own apartment.
Yep.
Been there for 3 years. Peachy keen. And her lease is up at the end of this week. Okay. And it's not a mystery when your lease is up.
Right. She knows exactly when it's up. We've got to be out of there by 10 o'clock Friday morning.
Okay.
We're down to a handful of days.
Yes. And it's not a mystery that she knew she was going to be moving.
Right. She's known about this for about 3 or 4 months.
Yes. She asked my mom, hey, can I move in with you? Because I want to get a job over there in the Philadelphia area. Mom's like, sure. So
they can help each other.
They can. My mother can benefit from having somebody there living with her, and Katie can definitely benefit from living with somebody else.
And Katie was over there for about 4 months at one stretch a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, she still had her apartment here, but she was over there, and they seem to get along. So it's going to be a good match.
So yeah.
But the issue becomes readiness. Yeah, the actual moving. When we went over there
We went over there a couple days ago.
And she said, "Yes, I'm getting ready, and yeah, it's looking good." And we walked in and said, "You're not even close to ready."
No. No.
And had to jump in immediately to start doing things because she had done, well, not much of anything. I don't know what I don't think she'd done anything. And even though she had also finished her job about a week prior, so she had an entire week and she had done basically nothing.
So we want to talk a little bit about people's perceptions of being ready
to
do something.
Yes.
And that's because if you were to ask Catie a couple days ago, "Are you ready to move?" She would undeniably
Oh yeah.
tell you, "Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I've been doing a lot. I'm ready." She's not even close.
No. So one of the things that you might want to ask yourself when you are about to take on a task or take on a project, and you say, "Oh yeah, I'm ready for this." Maybe, just maybe, you might want to ask somebody who has done this dozens of times, and between the two of us,
we have moved many times.
I mean, just since we've been married, we've moved many times when you think about it.
At least a half a dozen.
Yeah. And I remember, you've probably moved a couple dozen times. I've moved a couple dozen times in my life.
Yeah.
So it's not like we don't know how to do this. You would think that at some point she would say, "Hey, what suggestions might you have?" Same with all of you out there. When you are looking at doing a project, when you are looking at completing some type of task, maybe you have a good idea of how to do it, maybe you don't. A really good idea is to reach out to somebody who has done this multiple times and ask them, "Where would you start?"
I would start by making sure that you streamline what you own.
Yes.
When I was a young single man, I remember doing a move one time where I packed up, started that morning, packed up everything that I owned, put it into a small moving van, took it to where I was moving to, unloaded every bit of it, and had everything set up by the time I went to bed that night. Now, it wasn't a long distance. I was only traveling, I think, about 50 miles.
That's not bad.
But I had made sure that I had streamlined what I owned. I didn't have that much that I had to move, and I kept it that way for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea where else I might be going or what I might be doing. Especially when you're young and you're single, you don't need to own a whole lot of stuff.
No.
But same thing when you're trying to start on other endeavors. Get rid of the stuff that you don't need.
Yes.
Make sure you've only got the stuff that you do need. Streamline and focus it.
Yeah, when you're starting a project, make sure you have the resources that you need,
But
like you
only the
said,
resources that you need.
but just those. Also, some of those resources are going to be people.
Yes.
And the people that you need are going to be the ones who have some experience doing different pieces of this. So they can share with you, "Hey, this has worked in the past. This necessarily hasn't worked in the past."
Right.
And what are some things that you can take away from that? It's going to be a huge help for you.
Yeah.
I think people, and one of the things I was thinking about just the other night was people overestimate how prepared they are for something and underestimate how much time something's going to take.
Yep.
And I thought back to, when you're in school, when you're writing a paper or you've got a project or something like that too. You vastly underestimate how long it's going to take you to do that.
Generally, yes.
And you also overestimate how well prepared you are to do it. It's the same when you're out there in the working world and you're running your own business or you're leading a team or you're moving. You're going to underestimate how much time it's going to take you to get everything done, and you're going to overestimate how well you can do it all.
Right. But does that mean that you shouldn't do it?
No.
No. I mean, that's one of the things that we hear all the time is sometimes you just got to go.
And Paul Martinelli, who's doing Think and Grow Rich right now, he's doing it through the lens of mind into matter.
Right. Thinking differently.
Taking action.
Yeah. Thinking differently.
Thinking differently.
Yeah.
One of his key phrases is jump and grow your wings on the way down.
Right.
You have to take action. Right. You have to move forward.
Yeah. It's the idea of being like one of those birds that they, you know, they have their babies on a cliff, and the cliff, the birds have to, they push them out, and the babies, and they don't know what to do, and then they finally figure it out with the wings, and hopefully they make it to the water, because if they don't, they're going to be eaten by a fox or something. But so we don't want that to happen.
No.
But the idea is, you at some point you got to just jump out of the nest and go.
Yes. And so when you're faced with something for the first time, like I said, sometimes you got to get in there, but allow more time than you think you're going to need. When you're planning things out, give yourself a buffer, because something will come up that you weren't expecting.
Right.
Because you've never done it before. Even if you have done something before, things are going to pop up.
That's right. Things happen.
Always give yourself some extra time. And talk to people who have been there and done that.
Yep.
They are a wealth of knowledge. They are more than happy to share with you their experiences and how you can make improvements on the process itself.
Right. What do they say? Experience is a great teacher. Somebody else's experience is a fantastic teacher.
Yeah, John Maxwell will actually tell you, you always want to learn from your own mistakes, but it's better to learn from other people's mistakes.
Better learn from others' mistakes. You better believe it.
It's a whole lot easier. So ask people, you know, what would you suggest? How would you go about doing this? And collect a whole bunch of those responses that will help you make the best decision for how to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, if they needed help in areas when it comes to, you know, getting a team more productive, getting people on the same page, moving in the same direction, they needed help with some retention issues, because maybe people are leaving and they weren't planning on that, or maybe there's some conflict going on within an organization, and they've been put in charge of this particular project, and they don't really have a whole lot of experience in that area. Who could they turn to?
Oh, there's finally a question there. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, starting to wonder. Us? Hey.
Yes.
How about that?
We do know that.
I got it right.
We do. Wow. We help human resource professionals and business owners and team managers and leaders with retention issues. If you've got people, especially good people, who are leaving, you can't afford that.
No, costs too much.
If you've got conflict going on within your organization, you can't afford that.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's no fun.
If you've got low productivity, if you've got people just going here, there, and everywhere doing their own thing, you can't afford that.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Call us.
Yeah, call us.
Well,
we have a phone.
A phone?
Oh my gosh. Yes, we have a number.
People still have those?
They still have those. It's 412-420-7975. Let me repeat that. 412-420-7975. And you can call us the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
We'll pick up and talk to you. Most of the time we pick up. If we don't pick up, we'll get your message, leave a message. We'll get back to you pretty fast. We're pretty good about that. Or you can send us a text message. Yeah, we'll see your text. We'll reply.
Yes.
We'll respond.
The other thing that you could do is email us.
Yes.
We do have an email.
We do.
Wow. It's info@ateagueofyourown.com.
We have a website too, don't we?
We do have a website.
What's the website?
ateagueofyourown.com.
So same thing as the email, just without the info.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, info@ateagueofyourown.com, or just go to the website, ateagueofyourown.com. There's actually a place there you can click contact us, and
Yep.
it'll take care of it.
Yeah, it'll come through.
We're on social media.
Yeah.
That's more than likely how you're watching this.
Yeah. So we
Uh,
got Facebook, LinkedIn,
Facebook,
and
LinkedIn,
Instagram.
Yep. And we have our YouTube channel.
Yes,
Please
subscribe.
Yes. Go
And
out
you'll
there.
find all of these videos for almost 3 years worth now, isn't it?
4 years in March.
4 years. Oh my goodness. Hold on. What happened to the other year? I
If
missed
you
one.
go, if you
Where was
go
I?
on, you were there. If you happen upon Facebook and you scroll all the way down, you will find the very first one we did in March of 2020.
And when you watch it, try hard not to laugh. I bet you can't do it.
It's awful.
Well, it's because we weren't ready, but we jumped off and we grew our wings. Yeah.
And
here we are.
Yeah. Almost 4 years later.
Yes.
Yes, we've done, this is number 201.
And that picture's been in the background on nearly all of them, hasn't
A
it?
lot of them. Yeah, most of them. Yes.
Tulips.
Yes. Yes, from Holland.
Yeah.
Yes, when it celebrated the 500-year anniversary of the tulip. Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. You have to look at the dates on there.
Yes, 400.
400
years.
400 years.
There you go. Yeah, I got that from the Keukenhof.
Nice.
It is. All right, so feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know. Let us know what challenges you have had to face in the past that you weren't necessarily ready for, even though you thought you were.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear some of these stories. And we'd love to know that Catie isn't the only one.
Yeah.
Who this happens to.
Then if you have some of those other issues, call us. We're happy to help.
Yes. All right. Take care. We will see you next week. Bye. Everyone.